Right, this is part 2 of the Pride celebrations in Glasgow. I'm looking at a pink Cadillac. One of these stretch limousines, I think. It's not a Cadillac, I think it's a stretch limousine. It's called AXM Nightclub, advertising again another nightclub in the city. We're unable to see who's in it, but it's being followed by many people here. Here's another. Okay, civil service pride. That civil service are our government employees, so they're being represented here wearing pink, and many of them with their families, with dogs, and you can hear them shouting there. Okay, next we have another. This one's a double-decker bus, okay? And it's got Pride, the rainbow flag in all the windows, and it's a very modern bus. I can't see who's in it though. There's no signs on there to say who it is, but I suspect it might be empty. Okay, it's empty, but it's a bus representing Glasgow Electric. Yeah, I think it's something to do with different types of transport. Okay, moving past that, lots of people still walking in between these trucks. People with dogs and pets, and also everyone covered in this rainbow flag. Okay, the next one that's coming up here, they have purple balloons. I don't know what the purple balloons are supposed to represent. I'm hoping to see as they get a bit closer. No, there's not so many of them. There's about a handful. They're giving out the balloons to people. I don't think there's any company name on there, I think. Okay, it's something to do with women's rights and medicine as far as I can see. Okay, the police are hurrying past me here. I hope everything's okay, because it looks like they're in a hurry to get things going. We're coming to the end now of this parade. Lots of people with flags saying everyone's welcome. There's a after party in a university campus here in Glasgow. Oh, here's an interesting one. The Scottish Episcopal Church. Okay, now there is one of our leaders of the church. He is a very openly gay man. He's quite controversial. Actually, I can't remember his name. He's the one that when one of the royals was born, he said on live TV or in a newspaper that he was hoping that the child might be gay. Quite controversial that. So that's the Scottish Episcopal Church. They've just passed, and now we're at an end. Some disabled people there, some dressed up as animals. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been very interesting, very colourful. The police trucks are back to normal now. The traffic is restarted, and it's all gone. Yeah, so a lovely parade. Usually it's bigger. I think in the last few years they had bank sponsorship and these things, but maybe because of COVID there's not quite so much happening these days. So yeah, still very noisy though, and very beautiful. So everything's over. So I'm going to go up to the other side of the city and catch again the march as it approaches George Square. So I'll just pause this podcast for a moment, and I'll be talking to you all again when I reach the other side of town. So here I am again. This time I'm just near George Square where the parade ends. And again, I just want to give you a bit of a description and background. By the way, that digger that passed earlier, that I couldn't see the flag on the front, you remember? Well, there's a big flag on the front of it saying building equality. So obviously for LGBT people who are involved in the construction industry. Right, I wanted to give you some background on what I mentioned a moment ago. The Scottish Episcopal Church are proud supporters of LGBT and the community, but their leader, or one of the leaders anyway, in one of the cathedrals, his name is Kelvin Holdsworth. He's marching here on behalf of the church. You can find his blog if you put into Google "What's in Kelvin's Head." Just do a search on it. That's not the blog name. His name is Kelvin Holdsworth. Anyway, he's controversial because when one of the young princes was born, that is... Oh, now, who is that? That's someone in a Cadillac there. I don't know who it is. I have a feeling that might be the actor Ian McKellen, maybe. But I wouldn't trust myself on that. I'm not sure of my wife's name this week, so my memory is not so good, but I think that's who that was. Anyway, Kelvin Holdsworth, who's again just appeared here in the march, put into Google "What's in Kelvin's Head" and you'll see that he's quite a controversial figure. He is pushing the LGBT agenda quite significantly, and he made a comment when one of the princes was born, one of Prince William's children, William and Kate. He said, I really hope that this young man finds a young man to settle down with. And it was kind of inappropriate because after all it's a baby. I mean, it's not like it's an adult. That was the first reason. The second reason was because it was almost like the curse of the fairy godmother. He said that, and it was kind of like wishing the boy to be gay, which isn't a bad thing, but those comments were not appreciated, and it stopped him being promoted. So I think he struggled with that, but anyway, that was the background. So, Transylvania Shop and Coffee. Oh, delicious. I wonder what that is. The legend lives. I'm just going to go and see who is in that car. Give me a second. Right, so I just asked someone there. No one knows that was Ian McKellen in that car. Some people seem to think that it was a bride and groom from a wedding. Other people are saying no, it was someone famous, but my money would be on Ian McKellen. But like I say, I'm not even sure of my children's names this week. I'm not very... my memory is not very good this week. Okay, so all kinds of people dressed up coming along here. A lot of people wearing kilts, which is representing, of course, Scottish people. And then we have kilts with LGBT colours, the rainbow flag, which, from my point of view, really isn't a very nice thing. Okay, and now we have a lot of older people here waving flags for, I think it's just to remind us that the LGBT spectrum is not only for young people, there's older people there as well. And Virgin and O2, the mobile networks, again, pride and joy and love and rights and freedom and allyship to everyone. That's nice of them, isn't it? Hopefully they could put my telephone bill down if they're so concerned. They have quite a number of people marching here, the O2 people. I'm guessing these are all O2 employees, I suppose. I don't think they'll all be O2 employees because I wouldn't imagine O2 would have so many gay people working there. But there's a big long crowd of them. Standout youth group 16 to 24 LGBTQ. Okay, there's a couple of men here dressed as women. I don't quite know what they're trying to say there. Okay, people blowing bubbles. Okay, I figured out why some of them are on roller skates. It's because it's representative of the original Pride March, which started in the United States many, many years ago. in those days it was a protest, and people were on roller skates because it was fashionable back then to be on roller skates in the 70s. Even I had a pair. I don't think I could get into them now. Okay, another group wearing t-shirts. I think they're sports people, but I don't know what they're representing. They all look very young and fit. Lots of children now. What is this? Queer people against capitalism. Okay. Out for independence. Okay, the civil service again. We saw them the first time round. Diversity within the civil service. A few weird standalone signs there. I don't know what that says. I live in a particular way, I think. Little dog staring at me who's all dressed up in a gay costume, which is nice. Okay, so this is kind of a big deal here. The march is obviously ending somewhere, and people are beginning to celebrate, and the traffic is moving again. So let me just give you a quick summary before I end this. So the fire engines are here. I'm looking at lots of people of all different nationalities, maybe. There seems to be a lot of people here who aren't local. Some with purple wigs, some dressed in a very bohemian fashion. A kid holding up a sign, "I love my two mums." And we have a fire engine again, all dressed up with the gay flag. A lot of people walking past looking a bit confused, I think, wondering what's going on. And that's it. So it's just coming to an end. These fire engines making lots of noise, reminding us that they're there. And here's this really peculiar gay rugby team again. I don't really understand why. Well, I don't need to understand. I just need to know that there are gay rugby players, which is nice. In every sport, of course. People waving the Glasgow flag. These people look very, very healthy. Glasgow Raptors again, whatever they are. Football against homophobia. Well, that's good, yeah, because it's a very homophobic sport. Okay, that's football for everyone, not only straight people. Good, yeah. Wonderful. And then we're at more or less the end. Also people there wearing pink waistcoats. I'm assuming that represents either the some parts of the LGBT spectrum. I don't know which parts. And we're now at the end. So wonderful. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. And I'm going off to have a nice coffee now. So let's talk again soon. Okay, see you all and goodbye.